Good morning, students. As you have already seen my first lecture under Aatmanirbhar Bharat के लिए एक पहल, just to address all the science and engineering students of the country, I have already presented my first lecture, and for those who are looking the first time my channel, it is requested to go in description box and I will provide the link of all my playlist which is delivered by me, all the lecture of your choice by going in description box. First of all, in this content, I would like to address what is the characteristic of the mathematical model. The first, we are going to discuss the characteristic of the mathematical modeling. Now, you know, the first characteristic is the realism of the model. Your model should be very much realistic. So this should be our emphasis. Our target should be not only to construct the mathematical model, but also always in our mind, the first part that should be realistic. We should try to construct realistic mathematical model up to a certain extent. This should be in your mind always. Second, you know, all the science and engineering students, they always know this on every computation, consistency is more important than perfection. Sometimes we are few students, they always look for perfection, but they forget about consistency. So this is always said by the wiser people, consistency is more important than perfection. So you believe in this. In mathematical modeling, is self-consistency of mathematical model, where you have to look the equation and in equation must be consistent. So mathematically they should be fit for the modeling. Third is the complexity. We should avoid the complexity because we believe the complexity is the enemy of the execution. If you have created a lot of parameter, and that is very always be in as a researcher, as a scientist, as a technocrat, as an engineer, we always try to construct, believe in simplicity. So if the model is complex, problem description is complex, as an engineer, as an architect, you have to make it more simplified. So this is the third characteristic of mathematical model. And how it can be in mathematics? Here I have already given the hint. This can be increased by subdividing the variable. Sometimes it happens. Whenever, how many times in mathematics, let us suppose you are squaring any term at any place. Then you are increasing the parameter. You are if you are dividing the variable, then that may also create some complexity during the computational procedure. So some systematized mathematical computation we have to learn before doing any mathematical modeling. The last part is different models for different aspects. One model for one aspect, another model for another aspect. Like as a human being, every day we have to reflect a lot of emotions. Sometimes we are happy, sometimes we are shocked, sometimes we are sad. The same is in mathematics with mathematical model. We should realize, we should construct the different model for different aspect. Okay. So now the next in that series is the expected or unexpected predictions. Okay. So usually expected, but unexpected predictions required revision. Sometimes it happens if you are constructing the mathematical model and some results are unexpected. Okay. So we have to go through again in the previous stage, and we have to search what is the cause of that unexpected model, rather than just going forward and moving onwards. Okay, so we should avoid this. Then self, already it has been discussed in the different form, is self-consistency of mathematical model. Okay, your equation should be consistent. So self-consistency we have to create. We have to adopt such methodology. His system should be consistent. Then model is not good or bad. Sometimes you have already created. So you don't say ki this model is good. We should avoid to say ki this model is good or this model is bad. We should take here ki this model is fit and this model is unfit, because you have already developed the model up to by following certain stages. Then in mathematics always we do some interpretation. In that sense, in that particular environment, that model may be unfit. Okay, so we should avoid to say कि this is bad or good, because that is always relative term. So we should say if this is fitted or this is unfit. This is the fit model or this is unfit model. The next is the mathematical model compel us to think clearly, like an architect, like a doctor. If you are doing some mathematical model, then again and again you go through the description of the problem. And you don't start the mathematical modeling. I will show you in next lecture by considering one real life problem. If that is clear in your mind, then only you can develop some good mathematical model. Then your problem description, problem statement, that should be very much clear in your mind. Whenever still, as on date, I have already collaborated with certain good government of India who are responsible for mathematical modeling, and I am as a resource person whenever we go and to meet some youngsters and we do some real life problem, then always we experience this. We should always try to read again and again the statement of the problem. If that is clear, then only you can develop some mathematical model. So this is the very important for us. Then next in that connection is the imperfection of model and cost of modeling. As I said, now it is also very important for us. We should look how we can crash the time and cost and maximize the output. So if you are developing certain model which is the revenue related model, then only we always focus on imperfection of model and cost of modeling. No model is perfect and every model may be improved, justify your investment. Okay, so this is already this is implemented everywhere. Then state variables and relations. The right choice of state variable is of the utmost importance. It is in your hand. Whenever you start the real life problem modeling, then it is your hand how you want to move. Then accordingly you have to develop certain model for the conclusion also. So at that time, what is your concrete knowledge of that subject? I will show in next PPT. That is very essential for you just to start the problem in mathematical modeling. And then estimation of parameters. It is believed that scientists, engineers and technocrats, they are the good estimator also. They know the decision science especially. So this is also required during the mathematical modeling. Prediction, validation, estimation of parameter means every model have parameter to be estimated, must suggest experiment or observations, method of calculation of parameters. Without this, it is incomplete. So engineer, why I am saying this is mathematical modeling is essential for an engineer, because we believe that they are the behind every construction, every pleasure part of the society. So this is very important. They should be the good estimator. Now the next is validation. Prediction, validation and iteration, that is a cycle. It means this is the conclusion compared with observation, then validate and repeat till satisfaction or the fitting of the model. It means you can conclude that mathematical modeling is an art, and you will be agree with me. If required experience, insight and understanding. It is required. It is believed that before doing your modeling, you have certain knowledge of your core discipline, because it is already very much clear and you always remember this. What is the sense modeling? Modeling means mathematics plus your discipline, the knowledge of your discipline. As I said in very beginning, engineering is nothing but language of mathematics. So this fitted everywhere. You look the mathematics and the situation of work are necessary. So just you believe and you just own which type of the situation is, what is the environment of your modeling. That is very essential for developing the good model. And one very important part is the unity of different disciplines throughout the mathematical modeling. Really, I enjoyed this a lot. Whenever up to this stage, only few the real life problem I have addressed, and I believe this is whenever we start formulation of real life problem, then you look आप देखोगे कि at certain stage you develop some new relations, and you look there are some unification between the parameters, and Although those parameters are entirely different, another set of parameters are entirely different. But by just experience and during the computational procedure, you will find the unity of different disciplines throughout the mathematical modeling. And then if you know, or if you are having the different discipline expertise with you, then your model look very nicely. So now in many good institutions, they are working, doing the mathematical model in collaboration with multidiscipline expertise. So that is very essential for the good development of mathematical model. Since I have already focused my target for engineering student, then I want to reorient my indication towards the engineering side. For that purpose, just to look this PPT, mathematical modeling and engineering problem solving. Okay, so requires understanding of engineering system. This is very important for the today engineers. So it is very essential for you. You in this system you are going. So first, not this mathematical modeling will help you whenever you know well about your discipline. In that particular discipline, you have to develop your expertise by observation and experiment. At least you do, and you should be equipped with that knowledge. Then theoretical analysis and generalization. Computers are, minded this sentence, this is very relevant now in these days. Computers are great tools. However, without fundamental understanding of engineering or mathematical problems, they will be useless. It is already seen that few students, every year many students, they approach for different activities, and after some time we believe they are required some more knowledge about the detail of the subject. Sometimes they are very good in computer, but they require to earn some more knowledge in their particular discipline. So we should focus on that. Now the relationship, you always know we always develop the relation y is equal to fx. Y is equal to fx means that is dependent variable, and f may be independent variable, parameters, or forcing function. So what is in engineering, how you will calculate, how you will find out. So this means the characteristic that usually reflect the state of the system. This is the meaning of dependent variable. Independent variable means dimensions such as time and space along which the system behavior is being determined. This is called independent variables. Now the video will be lengthy, because of that I want to very quick on these parameters. The parameters, this reflect the system's properties or composition. Forcing function means external influence acting upon the system. Okay, so in detail, just for your sake of information, it will be clear to viewers. Just you look this example. Independent variable causes an effect on dependent variable. How? Example: how long you sleep. This is independent variable. Affects your mathematics score. Dependent variable. So this is not in all the aspect. Don't take this example in every aspect, but in a limited scope, you can just take away what is the meaning of independent and dependent variable. In another example, look, our dependent variable is how tall you are at different ages. It means the dependent variable height and depends on the independent variable your age. Okay, so this is how in engineering problem you can choose, and which type of the plot, how to plot the variables on the graph. It is already everyone is knowing, it is assumed, but very quickly you look, there is a standard method for graphing the independent and dependent variable. The x-axis is the independent variable, while the y-axis is dependent variable. And we always say in mathematical modeling, dry mix approach. Dry mix approach, what is the dry? Dry, that is red color I have given. D for dependent variable, R for responding variables, and Y on किस एक्सिस पर ये सारे दोनों वेरिएबल होंगे, ग्राफ ऑन दी वर्टिकल और वाई एक्सिस. और मिक्स अप्रोच क्या है, दैट इज ब्लू कलर. मिक्स मींस मैनिपुलेटेड वेरिएबल, सम टाइम इट इज रिक्वायर्ड इन मैथमेटिक्स, एंड आई मींस इंडिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल, एंड एक्स मींस graph on the horizontal or x axis. So if you as an engineer you are designing anything, designing the process, then how this knowledge will help you. So you always go for ask to identify the need and constraint, then research the problem, then imagine possible solution, plan by selecting a promising solution, create a prototype, then test any and evaluate the prototype, and this improve and redesign is needed, and then this is a cyclic process always go. Now, how the working model or mathematical model or computational model work together. So this PPT will clarify all these aspects: the real problem, then working model, mathematical problem, then computational model, and result and conclusion. So in this way, I think I have completed this aspect. In the next PPT, I will discuss what is the actual we will look one problem, and I will try to present the solution of the actual mathematical modeling problem. Thank you very much. Thank you. Stay safe.